Hello guys, welcome back to our anime explainer. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of upcoming episode of Swallowed Star 2, Land of Origin based on novel. So let's start. Primordial Hall, first floor, shop number 3. Oh. Buu, a plump elder, widened his eyes as he examined the lower-level primordial life corpses stored in the storage bag, among which a huge, completely red corpse was particularly conspicuous, judging by its size and aura. This is surely a mid-stage Divine Emperor low-level primordial life. Buu looked at Luo Feng and Emperor Qing in surprise. In Yulon City, being able to hunt a mid-stage Divine Emperor, low-level primordial life already proved the team's strength. Hurry up and make an offer, Emperor Qing urged. For this flame demon corpse, I can offer the highest 12.5 million primordial crystals, said Buu, including its 10 battle merits. That makes a total of 13.5 million primordial crystals. Luo Feng and Emperor Qing glanced at each other. This was indeed the highest offer. The other two shops they just visited, excluding battle merits, offered a maximum of 12 million and 12.2 million respectively. This flame demon corpse is yours, Emperor Qing said with a smile. Hearing this, Buu immediately laughed heartily. He was determined to get his hands on the complete flame demon corpse. The core tendons of the flame demon corpse were long-term purchasing targets for the power behind him, and other body materials could also be used for artifact refining, used in medicine, or for making puppets and more. Don't just see it as a mid-stage Divine Emperor, low-level primordial life corpse. That's because these lives are of a lower realm, and cannot fully utilize their advantages. Being an entity born outside of the braided cage, their bodies are quite special, and can play a greater role in the hands of cultivators. Even the last bits and pieces can also serve as materials for cultivators to study and practice their cultivation. All are sold. Luo Feng and his group visited the 3 most familiar shops on the first floor of the Primordial Hall, selling everything suitable. This time, from our hunting of 1 mid-stage and 7 early-stage Divine Emperor low-level primordial lives, we have earned a total of 19.5 million primordial crystals. Luo Feng and Emperor Qing also simplified the division of income. Splitting 70-30, Emperor Qing took away 5.85 million primordial crystals, and the remaining 13.65 million primordial crystals went to Luo Feng. Luo Feng, in order to purchase the array map secret treasure, also borrowed 300,000 primordial crystals from Emperor Qing, which he now has returned. The spoils of war from killing Kumo. Don't rush the process, Emperor Qing said. Take a more thorough look around Yulon City. Luo Feng nodded. Those spoils of war are a bit troublesome to deal with. If lazy, you could sell them all here in the Primordial Hall. But that would mean a huge discount. A complete low-level primordial life corpse can be sold here. However, many scattered materials, even many formulated deadly poisons, and some precious materials prepared for poison making, still need to be sold to those who know their stuff. Spend a few more days on this process. Luo Feng was in no rush. Such a large batch of spoils of war must be handled well. Also be careful with Kumo's master Yu Yong and the deceit workshop, Emperor Qing reminded before leaving. Luo Feng then went to deal with those spoils of war. In Yulon City, there are a total of 3 forces that regularly commit theft and plunder, namely Insect Nest, Shadow Tower, and Deceit Workshop. You should know the entire city has 723 individuals with the strength of late-stage Divine Emperor Enlightenment. These 3 forces dare to plunder like this without fearing offending enemies, showing they all have strong backing. Deputy Workshop Master, the Kumo from the Black Light team is dead, reported the 4 experts from the team, who had returned to Yulon City ahead of Luo Feng and his group, naturally also passing on the news. The entire Deceit Workshop has 8 Deputy Workshop Masters. Each possesses the strength of late-stage divine emperor enlightenment, and among them, 5 serve as elders of Yulon City. The 8 deputy workshop masters are the actual managers of the deceit workshop. Regarding the workshop master, the workshop master has extremely strong strength, already approaching the level of the 3 hall masters. Usually, he is not visible. The main focus of the workshop master is on his avatar in the dark sacred realm. Maintaining the existence of the deceit workshop is simply to reap sufficient benefits. Kumo is dead. A stunningly handsome man in a white robe sat there, his entire body naturally emitting a thin layer of halo. If you look closely, the halo is actually formed by thousands of protective layers. The beautiful man is one of the deputy workshop masters of Deceit Workshop, Elder Qian-He. I only have 20 teams under my command, and suddenly losing a member from the Black Light team, rearranging the team members is quite bothersome. Elder Qian-He chuckled lightly, his fingers as smooth and translucent as crystal jade, leisurely pouring wine. How did he die? Deputy Workshop Master, the detailed report is here. The figure in golden armor respectfully presented the report. Elder Qian-He glanced over it. The report outlined the entire process of the previous battle, all displayed. Luo Feng. Elder Qian-He murmured softly, a cultivator, who has only been in Yulon City for about 700 years, his physical body method is somewhat interesting. However, he didn't pay much attention to it. Coming from the source world himself, serving as an elder in Yulon City, and as a deputy workshop master in the Deceit Workshop, all for the sake of reaping benefits along the way. His main focus is also in the dark sacred realm. As one who has reached the stage of late-stage divine emperor enlightenment long ago, his wealth accumulated over long years, even in Yulon City, he possesses a complete and powerful set of secret treasures, naturally not putting Luo Feng in his eyes. Killing my subordinate, he should compensate me somehow. Elder Qian-He glanced at the golden armored figure. Go find Luo Feng, tell him compensate 50 million primordial crystals, and we'll call it even. If he is unwilling to pay, you don't need to say more, just come back, Elder Qian-He instructed. Yes. The golden armored figure responded respectfully and immediately left. Elder Qian-He leisurely sipped his wine, his mood not fluctuating at all. A subordinate died. He didn't care at all. The purpose of his avatar staying in Yulon City is solely to accumulate resources. Yulon City, it's been boring for too long. Elder Qian-He revealed a hint of a smile. Luo Feng. I truly hope you refuse me, that would be somewhat interesting. To continuously reap benefits in Yulon City, apart from reputation, you also need sufficient deterrence. Deterrence is to be fought for. HMPH. Elder Qian, his eyes were ice cold. Compared to the harshness of the dark sacred realm, the days in the Nine Rivers sacred realm were purely a relaxation for Elder Qian-He. In the core area of Yulon City, within a cave mansion that boasted better security and energy supply than even Emperor Qing's dwelling. Kumo is dead. Yu Yong in the cave mansion received the news, along with the full battle progress from his 4 companions. Yu Yong had a considerably imposing physique. He was not from the Enlightened One lineage, but a primordial bloodline cultivator. Strength-wise, he had nearly elevated the primordial bloodline to the half-primordial level. Yet, he was a fraction short. True half-primordial level bloodline cultivators had a status comparable to those at the late-stage Divine Emperor Enlightenment. The strength Yu Yong possessed now allowed him just barely meet the minimal threshold to enter the dark sacred realm. But he was reluctant to try. Should he go, he would be at the bottom tier. He would rather continue his accumulation in the Nine Rivers sacred realm until he truly reached the half-primordial level. Oh, Kumo. Yu Yong sighed softly. I've said before, coming to Nine Rivers sacred realm has made our days much more relaxed. There was no need to join that deceit workshop. Yu Yong and Kumo climbed up from the very bottom together. Throughout this process, they had other companions too, but ultimately only the two of them reached the Nine Rivers sacred realm. For cultivators from the source world, the path of cultivation was much tougher, and achieving the status of Divine Emperor was incredibly challenging. Yet, their pressures within the source world weren't that intense. But Yu Yong and Kumo had various resources, making their cultivation easier, yet crises were frequent, and the threat of death drove them relentlessly to cultivate. If not strong, then dead. I've seen Senior Jin with my own eyes, Yu Yong sighed. Senior Jin said that as long as we can escape the braided cage, he's willing to revive a large number of our dead comrades. For us, the most crucial thing is to escape the braided cage rather than fight other cultivators to death. Yu Yong understood his disciple, Kumo, very well. Kumo grew up amidst slaughter all his life. Becoming a divine emperor, he still habitually followed that path, because it was the fastest way to amass resources. Before, our environment forced us, we had to kill. But now in Nine Rivers sacred realm, we are not forced, we can slow down. Yu Yong cherished these relatively leisurely and calm days. Luo Feng. Yu Yong looked at the complete report. Perhaps, Luo Feng is Kumo's calamity. He held no hostility towards Luo Feng, initiating plunder and wanting to kill the opponent. If it resulted in death, who could be blamed? On the path of growth through slaughter, Yu Yong had seen too many companions' deaths, and he was even prepared for his own at any moment. Ultimately, he and Kumo were very fortunate to completely transcend their original world and come to Nine Rivers sacred realm. That Kumo died here, Yu Yong was not surprised at all. Choosing the path of plunder meant being prepared for backlash. I won't avenge you, Yu Yong said softly, sighing. I believe, Kumo, you would expect the same. The two understood each other too well. Called master and disciple, but having grown together through the long years, they were companions in life and death. My path of cultivation has only one goal, that is to escape the braided cage. Yu Yong's eyes held an unprecedented firmness, for only by escaping the braided cage could he make up for too many regrets. Luo Feng was visiting various merchants in Yulon City, seeking the best deal for handling his massive amount of spoils of war, not necessarily for the highest price, but a close one. The sky had darkened and the wind was strong. Just as Luo Feng exited a merchant's place, he saw a golden armored figure in front appearing before him, covered in golden armor, his face cold as he looked at Luo Feng. Deceit Workshop, Chiao Yike. Luo Feng immediately recognized the other. He had earlier purchased citywide information on divine emperors, and although he hadn't updated it recently, the data on divine emperors changed little in a short period. Chiao Yike, a member of the Deceit Workshop, with the strength of a mid-stage divine emperor. You came because of Kumo. Luo Feng looked at him. Luo Feng. The golden armored figure looked at Luo Feng. Kumo was under the deputy workshop master Elder Tian He from our Deceit Workshop. You killed Kumo, and the deputy workshop master was furious. However, considering Kumo attempted to rob you first, an opportunity for redemption is given. An opportunity for redemption. Luo Feng looked at him. Compensate with 50 million primordial crystals, and Deceit Workshop will not pursue it further, the golden armored figure stated. 50 million primordial crystals. Luo Feng burst into laughter. Your Deceit Workshop's team tried to plunder and kill me outside the city. I retaliated, and now you demand I redeem myself by compensating. Do I just stand there and be slaughtered when faced with plunder and killing? You can fight back, and after that, you still have to pay, said the golden armored figure. Deliver 50 million primordial crystals to the deputy workshop master within 3 days. Of course, you can choose not to pay. But the consequences aren't something you'd want to see. Having said this, the golden armored figure turned and walked away. Don't wait 3 days. Luo Feng spoke up. Go back and tell your deputy workshop master Elder Qian He behind you, not to talk about 50 million primordial crystals. Not a single primordial crystal. Whatever tricks you have, just bring it on. The golden armored figure looked at Luo Feng and cracked a smile. Impressive. Having said that, he swiftly flew away. The nighttime city of Yulon remains bustling, and Luo Feng gazes at the departing golden armored figure, sensing the undisguised malice from the other party. In the eyes of that golden armored figure Chiu Yike, Luo Feng's days ahead would be miserable. They ambush outsiders. Failure to ambush leads to them demanding compensation from the victim. Deceit Workshop, truly domineering, Luo Feng gently shakes his head. As for Elder Qian He, I shall see just what he can do to me. Luo Feng smiles slightly and then continues to visit the next merchant. Meanwhile, inside Emperor Qing's cave mansion, the avatar of Luo Feng here has already immediately gathered his companions. What's happened? Emperor Ming has been in seclusion and cultivation, losing the desire to hunt. However, he didn't block the communications from Luo Feng and Emperor Qing, even during seclusion. Brother Luo Feng, what's the matter? Di Fu is busy working at the 9-ringed world tower in the city. Of course, he has an avatar in the cave mansion, practicing the Tao of infinite space. Emperor Qing sits to one side, guessing already, is it Deceit Workshop? Luo Feng looks at his 3 companions and nods. Just now, Deputy Workshop Master Elder Qian He from Deceit Workshop sent someone to see me, demanding I compensate 50 million primordial crystals, and to let the matter of the ambush and counter-killing slide. I refused outright. Ambush and counter-killing. You were ambushed outside. Emperor Ming and Di Fu now realize that the 2 strong legs they rely on have gotten into big trouble outside. Emperor Qing explains, on our way back from hunting, Brother Luo Feng and I were attacked by a Deceit Workshop team. That team consisted of 5 mid-stage Divine Emperor enlightened powerhouses. They surrounded us. Brother Luo Feng killed 1 called Kumo, and the other 4 withdrew in fear. 2 against 5, and you killed 1. A mid-stage Divine Emperor enlightened at that. Emperor Ming and Di Fu are shocked. Di Fu, who is painstakingly working towards attaining the ultimate realm of God King. Emperor Ming, on the path of primordial bloodline, is only at the early stage God Emperor level. He is well aware that a mid-stage Divine Emperor enlightened corresponds to a late-stage Divine Emperor bloodline cultivator. Such a level of bloodline cultivator is only a step away from the half-primordial level, and they were counter-killed by Luo Feng. Deceit Workshop is threatening me, Luo Feng says, looking at Emperor Ming and Di Fu. I am not afraid of them, but you two should be careful. Emperor Qing also nods. The retaliation from Deceit Workshop will come swiftly. There are strict laws within the city. They don't dare act boldly and cannot trouble me and Brother Luo Feng openly, but your 2 strengths are too weak. Even some covert methods are sufficient to deal with you both. I haven't gone out recently, Emperor Ming speaks. I have many avatars, Di Fu laughs. Those that go out are very poor. Luo Feng and Emperor Qing then nod in agreement. The laws of Yulon City are strict. Although some elders carry out ruthless deeds in secret, the city is enveloped in layers of formations on the surface, and they can't openly defy the laws, Emperor Qing says to Luo Feng. Even underhanded tactics are clandestine. Such methods can't harm you or me. Luo Feng agrees as well. With his blood-sea undying body, even if Elder Qian He made a move openly, they would both have to use some techniques to kill Luo Feng's blood-sea undying body. It is still safe in the city. Insect Nest, Shadow Tower, Deceit Workshop, they all carry out ruthless deeds. Their revenge is mainly carried out outside of the city, Emperor Qing says. we don't have absolute confidence now. So let's not go out hunting for the time being. Alright, Luo Feng agrees. First, let's rest well for a period of time. Emperor Qing, who has just reached mid-stage Divine Emperor, can expect that it will be very difficult to make a breakthrough for a long time. He needs a long period of accumulation, and doesn't wish to rush into danger now that he has offended Deceit Workshop. Luo Feng, having obtained a large amount of spoils of war, also wants to properly digest these treasures. The retaliation from Deceit Workshop came very quickly. Just 2 days later, Di Fu lost his job at the Nine-Ringed World Tower, and on his way back, he was silently obliterated. Even how the assailant made the move could not be investigated. Deceit Workshop truly knows no bounds. They targeted you. Even though Luo Feng and Emperor Qing were prepared for it, they were quite irritated when it happened. Organizations like Deceit Workshop have no shame. Di Fu chuckled and said, "It was just a menial job, not worth mentioning. I guess Deceit Workshop simply passed the word to someone in the middle management of Nine-Ringed World Tower, and with just a word, my job was gone." After all, Di Fu's status was too low, belonging to the lowest layer in the Nine-Ringed World Tower. The stealth attack on you involved causality, Emperor Qing said on the side. Thankfully, the entire Nine Rivers Sacred Realm greatly suppresses causality, and the formation of this cave mansion also has isolation effects. That's why it didn't harm your avatar inside the cave mansion. If the avatar inside the cave mansion had also died, I would have had to make the journey from Land of Origin again. Di Fu laughed. I never imagined that I, a low-level resident of Yulon City, would have the honor of being targeted by Deceit Workshop. You were implicated by me, Luo Feng said. Di Fu, you lost your job because of me. I owe you. It won't be long before I will get you an even better job. Ha ha, then I really hit the jackpot. Di Fu laughed. Coincidentally, I can also go into seclusion for a while now and properly study some of the gains I got from the Nine-Ringed World Tower. Luo Feng was very clear. Di Fu seems to not care, but in reality, he valued that job at the Nine-Ringed World Tower very much. It was after much difficulty that he obtained that job, and the four of them even celebrated it. Now that he lost his job, how could Di Fu not feel pained and dismayed? Deceit Workshop, Elder Tian He. Luo Feng's eyes grew colder. The official flying boat passed by Yulon City, and Luo Feng, disguising his appearance and aura as formless and intangible, boarded the vessel with extreme discretion. Afterward, he used the infinite primordial space transmission from the lake at the foot of the holy mountain to return to the Land of Origin. Land of Origin, Huyang City, City Owner's Mansion. I'm back. Atop a tall building in the City Owner's Mansion, Luo Feng gazed upon the giant fluffy palm supporting the entire Huyang City, which was none other than the innate secret treasure Palm World, controlled by Luo Feng. The Palm World, its value is close to that of the Undying Heart, thought Luo Feng. But to truly wield its power, the difficulty is much greater than the Undying Heart. The Undying Heart was a secret treasure Luo Feng had specifically selected from the infinite space treasure vault, most in tune with himself. Centered around the paths of life and destruction, it was naturally the easiest to utilize. The innate secret treasure Palm World, according to primogenitor Yang Feng's initial assessment, was originally a claw of a high-level primordial life form. It had gestated for countless years within a world-level primordial life form in the dream domain before morphing into this innate secret treasure. It possessed very distinct life characteristics, much like the blood-colored scale of the Star Tower, which was primarily based on life and also contained many other paths. Thus, for Luo Feng to unleash the full power of the innate secret treasure Palm World with life as its core, while also incorporating world, destruction, space, matter, and infinite other mysteries, the difficulty was naturally magnified. With a single step, Luo Feng returned to the inside of the Star Tower. In one of the Star Tower's cultivation spaces, a large quantity of low-level primordial life materials was stored. Luo Feng waved his hand, and materials with even stronger aura began to descend. Low-level primordial life materials of late-stage Divine Emperor strength, total 800 pieces, with an average price of 38,000 primordial crystals each. For the 9 Rivers Sacred Realm, suitable for my level, I've gathered about 70% of these low-level primordial life forms. For the Divine Emperor Perfection level low-level primordial life forms, there are a total of 80 pieces, each costing an average of several 390,000 primordial crystals. I also purchased 3 pieces of super limit level low-level primordial life materials, costing a total of 10.2 million primordial crystals. Luo Feng's main wealth was invested in materials. Low-level primordial life is divided by race. Within the same race, the weaker may be at early stage Divine Emperor, while the stronger may be at Divine Emperor Perfection level. Just as among cultivators, some possess extremely formidable strength, surpassing those at the same level. Among the Divine Emperor Perfection level low-level primordial life forms, there are also a scarce few that shine exceedingly bright, their strength far above their peers. In the 9 Rivers Sacred Realm, they are referred to as super limit level. One-on-one, even the 3 Hall Masters of Yulon City generally couldn't best them. The so-called super limit level low-level primordial life corpse materials from the 9 Rivers Sacred Realm are usually transported from the Dark Sacred Realm, where the intensity of battle is much higher, making it relatively easier to acquire corpses of this level. Super limit level corpse materials, even the scraps, each part is worth at least a few million primordial crystals. These low-level primordial life materials, each containing the mysteries of life and destruction, Luo Feng was quite elated. This time, I have acquired much more than before. Moreover, I have purchased quite a few auxiliary cultivation treasures. This time, the life and death Tao must break through. The eye of life and death at Luo Feng's brow opened as he started to meticulously analyze these newly acquired materials, embarking on his cultivation. For cultivations at the Divine Emperor level, it was common to meditate in seclusion for hundreds, or even thousands of eras. Emperor Qing had decided to go into long-term meditation, and Luo Feng was also prepared for an extended period of seclusion. However, this time Luo Feng purchased too many low-level primordial life materials, and many of them were systematic. For example, within the same race, early stage, middle stage, late stage, and perfection levels of Divine Emperor, Luo Feng bought them all. By comparing them and contemplating, Luo Feng's gains were naturally greater. As Luo Feng analyzed the materials one by one, not even completing the first round of studies, and only covering about 70%, it took nearly 200 eras. The accumulation within the life and death Tao slowly but naturally completed, leading to a qualitative change. HM. Sitting cross-legged inside the Star Tower, engaged in habitual contemplation, research, analysis, and integration, Luo Feng inadvertently combined and formed a complete, early-stage God Emperor level life and death Tao in his heart. Luo Feng was initially startled. Then he was filled with joy. The joy of enlightenment is what most fascinates cultivators. Many divine emperors were already invincible in their original home worlds, able to enjoy everything there is to enjoy, yet they still head to the 9 Rivers Sacred Realm, one after another, risking dangers of death to continue striving and venturing. They seek higher levels of Tao, desiring to see more of the world. 900 eras since heading to Yulon City. The life and death Tao has finally progressed from the ultimate realm of the godly king to the early stage of divine emperor. Luo Feng whispered with a smile. This video will end here.